Hey Gemini, welcome to your reading for the last week of August 24th through, I believe it's September 1st. Guys, you're getting a sneak peek of the September setup. I know I was doing the mermaid stuff all through August, but your video did not load. So, I gotta do your reading again. I don't want you guys to go a whole week without a weekly reading. So you guys are getting a sneak peek of the September setup here. But we're going to connect here and see what's going on for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising in the week ahead. Alrighty, my darlings? And then we're going to pull a oracle message for you guys. We're going to use this tarot deck here. And then we're going to pull an oracle message from that deck there. So without further ado, my darlings, my Geminis, my Gemininis, let's see what's happening. First up, you guys have 10 of Swords. Now, this is a scary looking card, right? Traditionally, in most tarot decks, it's somebody with like 10 swords sticking out of them. And it can be a very kind of scary card to see, scary card to deal with. However, and I'm not saying this to be a Pollyanna, I'm not saying this to be overly optimistic, I'm telling you the truth. In all the years that I've been reading for people, and all the readings that I've ever done for myself, anytime I've pulled 10 of Swords, I have noticed it's right before a major come up. Like something is being removed so that you're able to really fully accept and embrace something higher level. And there's a bittersweet kind of aspect to it. The person I'm reading for is the one who's putting an end to it. Right? It could be a job. It could be a living situation. It could be a relationship. And you're like, man, you know what? This was really great. This was all really wonderful. And it was really what I needed when it came in. But now I've outgrown it. Now it's like a shoe that's too tight and it's just not working. And it's time to let it go and move on to the next thing. So Gemini, you're making a decision to walk away from a situation. There could be betrayal involved. There could be an aspect here where you're standing up for yourself and being true to yourself. It could be a situation in which like you might feel like you've been kind of jumping through hoops at work or in a friendship or in a family situation. And now you're like, wait a minute, why should I have to be jumping through hoops all the time? I don't want to be jumping through hoops all the time. And so there could be this releasing from something very karmic in that way. 10 of Swords is also very positive when it comes to things like addiction or self-medicating behaviors that have been kind of holding you back. You're overcoming those addictions. You're overcoming those self-medicating behaviors. Where, like I said, maybe they got you through a really rough time, but now you're seeing how it's holding you back and you're not going to hold on to it anymore. And you're going to release it so that you can evolve, so that you can come into the next thing. Okay? I don't know why this is. This might be specific to somebody out there, but I'm feeling kind of nudged to share this. I'm seeing a cat. So I don't know if maybe some of you are feeling like you want to get a cat or like some small fluffy little animal or something to help you through this stage of release or this stage of healing, or if the cat has a symbolic meaning for you, right? But for some reason, I'm feeling like there might be a cat in connection to this healing for some of you. The next card here, my darlings, Gemini. Ooh, very nice. Very, very nice. I love it. I love it. I will say one thing. What's coming up in this reading is really, so far from the first two cards, really aligning with the first reading I did for you guys that kind of got lost and I was using a different deck. So I have to say this is a pretty solid message for a lot of you because so far the themes are the same. Your next card here is Six of Swords. And I love the way the artist in this deck shows us the Six of Swords because it's like she's coming up for air. It's like it's a breath of fresh air. Like you're not holding on to anything anymore. You're not you know, putting up with an uncomfortable situation. You're going to where you're able to breathe, right? Six of Swords is getting away from drama. Six of Swords is going, you know, somewhere where you can kind of clear your mind and rest and figure out what you want to do away from the distractions. Okay, so Gemini, I feel whatever is happening for you guys, you've been in a situation that has been triggering an old wound of not having any control, right? You may have gone from a very controlling parent to a very controlling relationship to a very controlling boss, where you've just never really been able to do your thing. And now you're shaking that off. You're shaking it off of you, and you're just like, I don't want the drama. I don't want to be pinned down. I don't want to be held down. And you're coming into this energy of freedom or freeness. Okay. Again, Six of Swords for me very much is about getting away from drama. So you might also be kind of just going through your friends and eliminating anybody who's been causing drama in your life. Or Gemini, maybe for some of you, no shame, this isn't going to be for all of you, but maybe for some of you, you're beginning to realize like things that you have done that maybe people have looked at you or accused you of being dramatic. And you're like, well, why did I do that? Or why did I respond that way? And you're healing that so that you don't have that come up again. Some of you are releasing your own drama. There could be a sense of travel here too for some of you. So there could definitely be a sense here of like traveling or getting away or taking a bit of a trip as well. Your next card here, Gemini, is Queen of Wands. Some of you could be dealing with a fire sign. So fire would be Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo. Keep in mind it could be their moon or rising. It could be you if you have fire in your planetary placements connecting with that fiery aspect of yourself. But let's put the zodiac aside for a moment. For me, in general, Queen of Wands is the energy of like when we get in touch with our anger and we use our anger wisely, right? Like we're so fed up, we're so frustrated with a situation, but it's motivating us and it's moving us to take action, and taking action that's actually getting us results very quickly, getting us results very fast, right? When I see Queen, oh my gosh, you know what just jumped out at me is the cat. The cat just jumped out at me. I don't know why. The cat is significant to somebody out there. I don't know what it is. I don't know if you lost your cat and your cat's coming back home. If that happens, oh my gosh. That's like, wow, crazy is that? Something about a cat. Something about a cat for some of you. I just noticed the cat in the card. Wowie, wowie. Okay. Back to the Queen of Wands. So for me in a reading, when Queen of Wands comes up, it's like you're so fed up with being pushed in the corner. And maybe Gemini, you've just been one of those people where you try to be cool, you try to be chill, you try to be easygoing, you don't want to make drama, you don't want to rock the boat, you know. And so you just kind of went along with things. But anytime you've tried to speak up, or anytime you've tried to say, well, hey, this is what I want, or this is what's important to me, maybe your ideas were not received. Like maybe in a work situation, you've just kind of felt like they've been like, yeah, okay, that's nice, shut up and go do your job. Maybe they don't flat out say that to you, but you felt that way, right? Or with friends or relationship, they just kind of brush it under the rug. And so when Queen of Wands comes up, you're fed up, you're done, you're over it. But you're also in a very clear state of mind, because the Queen of Wands does not have time for games, does not have time for pettiness. You know, she doesn't have time to sit around and gossip and, you know, kind of start drama with people. She doesn't have time to like try to get revenge. She's busy. She's like, I know what I want. I'm not getting it here. I'm not wasting any more time here. And she puts her sights, she puts her focus on where she wants to be. So maybe some of you have not been happy in a work situation, but you're feeling like, this is it, I'm doing it. And you're like fixing up the resume, you're getting serious about it, you're applying to a bunch of different jobs, or you're like, you know what, it's time I work for myself, I'm sick of making other people rich, and you're getting really serious about getting a business going. Or you're really cutting somebody off and you're getting really involved in the things that you're passionate about, the things that you're interested about. And you're like, that's it. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to be more social. I'm going to make friends with like-minded people. But the thing about the Queen of Wands is she makes up her mind. And because she's made up her mind, she has results very quickly. She makes progress very fast. So even though this might not be a new desire or a new dream that you're pursuing, you're going to make progress in record time because you're using your anger wisely. You're tapping into that part of yourself where you're like, this isn't fair. This isn't acceptable. I'm not doing this anymore. And I'm getting very focused and I'm making it happen for me. It's about time that things happen for me, right? So you're like really focused in that way. Your next card here, Gemini, is Knight of Wands, right? Knight of Wands is very fast moving energy and very fast moving decisions, very fast moving choices. Okay. There could be also like a tapping into like really kind of base root chakra energy, where there could be something like physical going on here, like in terms of like your passion or like getting your mojo back. Sometimes when we're healing and we're clearing, and if we have something going on in the root chakra that's been blocked, and then all of a sudden the root chakra gets unblocked, people get a little bit frisky. There could be some of that energy coming in for some of you as well. But Knight of Wands could be very fast moving energy and making decisions very quickly. Sometimes Knight of Wands is also an ultimatum card. So Gemini, I feel like some of you are getting ready to give somebody an ultimatum, and you mean it. Like, you mean it. So like if they're not stepping up, you're like, I know what I bring to the table. I know what I have to offer. So if they're not going to step up, or if they're not going to accept the ultimatum, I'm okay with that. I'm ready to take that chance. Like, you're not bluffing. You're not playing around. Sometimes people say something and they don't mean it, right? Like, oh, well, if you don't give me a raise, then I'm going to quit, right? And they might be like, oh, sorry, we don't want you to quit, but we can't give you a raise. And you're like, oh, man, because you didn't mean it, right? Or you might tell a significant other, either you stop messing around, or either you commit, or I'm leaving this relationship. And they kind of try to, sweep it under the rug or talk their way out of it. And you're like, oh, well, I don't want to break up with them. And you might kind of stay. No, none of that. Like, you mean it this time. You're like, okay, I'm ready to walk, right? I gave you a chance, but I'm ready to walk. So I feel like you're putting this ultimatum and you mean it. Whether or not the person is going to accept the ultimatum, it's different for different ones of you. Typically, my rule is I say, oh, you know what? Never give anybody an ultimatum, because if you give them the ultimatum, they're not going to do it because they don't want to hear the ultimatum. But in this situation, Gemini, the energy that I'm feeling, I don't feel like it's a power struggle thing. I don't feel like you're giving an ultimatum like to be a jerk or to try to flex on somebody. You're giving the ultimatum because it's directly connected with standing up for yourself. And you're like, I don't want it to be like I'm walking away for no reason. Like, I want them to know. Like, if I walk away, I want them to know why. And I'm giving them one last chance so that if I do walk away, I don't have to wonder what if. What if I had waited? Or what if, maybe they were going to come around, right? Like, it's kind of like you're wanting to hear it from their mouth so that you can move on. That's what it feels like to me. I do feel for some of you, you're going to have somebody step up. But again, it's general. So it'll be different for different ones of you. Okay? We're going to go ahead and see what your oracle message is for the week ahead. And keep in mind, guys, watching your moon sign and rising sign could be very helpful. For some people, their moon sign or rising sign will resonate more. It can vary from week to week, or it might bring in extra information for you. You might need a private reading, which I'm more than happy to do for you if you want to click on the Calendly link in the description of the video. you can schedule a private reading with me there. So your oracle message is encounter. Ooh, I hear encounter and I think of Close Encounters of, what is it, the third kind or seventh kind? What is it? What is it? You guys know. You 80s babies like me, you know what I'm talking about. The Alien movie. So encounter, I don't know, maybe some of you are like ET phone home, but in general, encounter here, you know what this makes me think of? And I don't mean to get all biblical on you guys, but sometimes biblical references come up for me because that's the religion I was raised in, and I had the Bible drilled in my head from the time I was a very young kid. So I hope it's not offensive to you guys, but I remember the story, like one of the first stories I learned from my children's Bible. It talked about God creating Adam and how Adam would, like, he was alone in the garden, like before Eve came along or before God made Eve. And it talked about how God would visit Adam every single day, like around the same time, and he would feel God moving through the trees. Like the way the wind blew through the trees, he knew it was God. So that's what I thought of when I looked at this. Like I kind of see like wind blowing through the trees, and I see like little butterflies that represent transformation. And so I feel like some of you might be having a very, very intense spiritual connection through nature, right? Like you might be connecting with nature or spending time in the trees, or around trees or around nature, or just getting that fresh air, and you're feeling God, you're feeling spirit, you're making a spiritual connection. Okay, maybe some of you can't get out into nature, but I do feel like a lot of you Gemini is like you're feeling like, you know what, I feel my angels, I feel my guides, I'm not alone. They're walking with me through these changes, and I feel like there's a spiritual encounter, like a positive one, for a lot of you Geminis here, or making a spiritual connection for you Geminis here in the coming week. So I hope that was helpful, my darlings. I thank you for checking out the video. If you're looking for love and romance, you can definitely click on the love readings linked in the description. Check out the channeled angel messages for August if you haven't already. The September ones are done. I just have to release them. So keep an eye out for those. And again, when you hit subscribe and the notification bell, you'll get a notice every single time I post new videos. So I thank you guys for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful week, my dears. Bye, Gemini.